Well, folks, the Marshal of the Supreme Court and her team released a report yesterday that said they finally got to the bottom of the Supreme Court leaker case. That, of course, happened over the summer when the Dobbs opinion was leaked to the press prior to that ruling that overturned Roe versus Wade. And the Marshal of the Supreme Court said, we don't know who did it. Sorry, we've spent 8 months investigating this and couldn't find anything at all, so oopsie-doo, it's over and we'll never know who the leaker is. Isn't that so convenient, right? I mean, they said, because think about it, it went on for about 8 months. They had to look at 82 employees. So you only really had to investigate 10 employees per month. So we're talking about 2, maybe 3 employees per week, going through their electronic devices, seeing who was sending stuff, and you came up with nothing. You had ample time to look at 82 people, and you came up with nothing. Now, the folks on social media seem to all be in agreement that this means, yes, they found out who the leaker is, but they don't want to say because it's one of their own. And of course, all fingers are pointing right now to Samuel Alito or a member of his staff being the leaker. Because when this first happened, conservatives, of course, immediately assumed that it was some liberal on the court trying to warn the public about Roe versus Wade being overturned. But then, after all their calls, jail the leaker, get them out of here, after all that died down, public opinion started to think, wait a minute, it actually would make more sense for the conservatives on the court to have leaked this opinion in order to pressure the justices to not change their vote before the final verdict is released. By the way, yes, that has happened before in Supreme Court history. So I refuse to believe, I'm sorry, I don't want to get conspiratorial, but I refuse to believe that the court could not find who the leaker is. I think it is far more likely that they did discover who the leaker is, but, we can't say anything because it happens to be a conservative and we don't want to get that kind of backlash from the public. Hell, we already faced the backlash from the public after that decision came out, and then we didn't get our 70-seat pickup in the midterms because everybody was mad that we're trying to get rid of women's health care. So it would make sense for them to want to cover this up. Donald Trump, of course, has already come out and called for whoever the leaker is to be put in jail, in addition to the reporter who reported the story, who was leaked to, said that person should be in jail until they give up their source. And who knows, maybe one day the reporters will give up the source. Maybe they will finally tell us which justice or which staffer for which justice released this. But until then, the Supreme Court says we are done looking at this. There's nothing left to find, or at least nothing left to find that we're willing to tell the public. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.